Hello everybody, this is Jeff at etrailer.com. Today we're going to take a look at this CURT Air Ride fifth wheel pin box for the Lippert 1116 pin boxes. This has a 21,000 pound gross towing weight capacity. Now this will let you enjoy a nice smooth stable towing with your fifth wheel trailer by replacing your ordinary pin box with this Air Ride equipped model pin box. Now this CURT Air Ride pin box is an exact replacement of the Lippert Trailair Air Ride pin box and has the internal airbag you can see right here and the built-in shock absorber to help reduce chucking and absorb road shock for a lot smoother ride as you tow your trailer. This Air Ride pin box will replace the standard pin box that's on your fifth wheel trailer to cushion your ride, improve the handling, and even limit strain on both the truck and the trailer. This does minimize chucking, eliminates bouncing and jarring. The internal airbag right here you can see, this will absorb the road shock, and basically this pin box you can see will act like gives you a scissor-like motion. In other words, you can see these two parts, those sort of scissor together, and that allows the pin box to compress, so it compensates for any jarring or bouncing. And then the built-in shock absorber at the very end here, that'll ensure that the pin box rebounds and helps keep the airbag from breaking down. This is a nice sturdy steel construction, has a nice black powder coat finish on it to provide rust resistance. Now the Kingpin right down here, it's a standard Kingpin. It'll connect to any standard fifth wheel trailer hitch. And this CURT Air Ride pin box will install in place of your Lippert 1116 fifth wheel pin box that's on your fifth wheel. Basically the Air Ride pin box will use the same bolts that held on your original pin box, so there's no additional hardware required. Plus it'll come out of the box just like this, all ready to be put on your trailer, so there's no assembly required. Now one thing I do want to mention, because this Air Ride pin box is quite heavy, it's probably a little over 150 pounds, we do recommend to have a friend help you support its weight during installation. It is made in the USA. Again, the weight capacity is 21,000 pounds. Now I do want to give you a few critical measurements on pin boxes that you want to be aware of. First one's going to be the overall width, which we'll measure back here. And basically we're measuring outside to outside. So if we get our tape measure out, and if we go outside to outside, you can see 12.5 inches for the overall width. The other measurements will be from the center of this Kingpin to the center of the front row of holes, and then from the center of the Kingpin to the back center of the back row of holes. And what I've done is put a mark up here that'll show me where the center of the Kingpin is. Makes it easier. If we go from that mark to the front row of holes center, it's going to be right at 14.5 inches. And if we go to all the way to the center of the back row of holes, it's about 23.25 inches. Now I did also want to mention about inflating the airbag. Let me just zoom in again so you can see this. To inflate the airbag with enough air, what you want to do is raise the pin box to the height mark that's on the front of the shock absorber. So if I spin this around, and it's pretty hard to see because it's black, but you'll notice there's an arrow. It says here inflate to this line, and then there's an arrow that points up, and then there's an indented line all the way around. And that's your ride height mark. So basically what you'll do is the starting pressure should be about 80-90 psi, and then just increase the air pressure according to this ride height mark. Now you do not want to exceed 120 psi, so as you're airing it up, you want to, once it reaches that line, go ahead and shut it down. Now filling should be stopped when you either reach that ride height, or if it's over 120 psi, you want to stop whichever comes first. Minimum pressure for this airbag is 45 psi, and just to show you where you'll inflate it from is right up at the top here. If you take this yellow valve cap off, then you'll have your valve stem right here that you hook your air pump to. Then go ahead and inflate your airbag from there. But that's going to do it for the review on this CURT Air Ride fifth wheel pin box for the Lippert 1116 pin boxes.